Hello, please join me in a cross-seated position where we'll begin our practice. Hands resting in the inside of your lap with the palms facing up. A little bit of a bend forward in your neck, so your chin is a little closer towards your chest. We're going to deepen that, so we take a long inhalation. And as we exhale, just bring your chin in a little closer towards your chest. Feeling a stretch through the back of the neck. In this class, we bring strong emphasis through opening and stretching shoulder line and our neck. Reset your chin level. Place the next inhalation at the base of your spine connected to the mat. Breathe long and open. Feel the bones in your back spacing away from each other as you inhale to the crown of the head. And a long, full exhalation. Every last bit of breath leaves the body. A moment of reflection. Calmness. Palms set to the tops of our knees. We inhale, tall, straight spine, and as we exhale, drop your left shoulder towards your right knee. Inhale, coming back to the center. Exhale, traveling to the opposite side. Keep that movement going. Push a little stronger through the knee that you're leaning away from, opening out through that hip, creating space. Reaching out long now with your right arm. A little more pressure through your left hand against your left knee. Hold and breathe, gazing downwards to the mat. Inhale, coming back to the center, and then as we exhale, set your left hand to your right knee, right hand behind the back. Sweep your gaze to the back wall, floating back forward, tall spine. Drop your right shoulder, left knee. Reach that left arm out long, setting to the fingertips. Right hand deepens the stretch as we push that right knee a little closer down towards the earth. Back to a tall spine before we bring our right hand, left knee. Sweep your gaze to the wall behind you. Floating ourselves back to the center. Draw your fingertips up to your shoulders, elbows out level and wide, and we're going to take some rotations forward and back. Keep every part of your body still and anchored, and feel this movement, shoulders through to your elbows. Now we can take these circles as wide as we feel comfortable. So perhaps you touch the elbows together, then touch the wrists together behind your head. Tap, tap. This might be a lot for your shoulders, so you can just get a little bit wider each time you circle. Now we're going to change around to the opposite direction. And again, we might start with small circles and then allow them to get wider. And again, we might also come back to that tapping of the elbows and the tapping of the wrists behind the back of the head. Bring your arms out level again, rotating backwards twice, back and round twice forward. And letting the arms fall by the sides of the body, a few loops around through the shoulders in one direction and back around in the opposite. Take a long full inhalation, lift your shoulders towards your ears, and as you exhale, let them fall. Inhale. Exhale as they fall. Once more, inhaling. Exhale as they fall. Sweep both arms up overhead. Your left foot is in front of the right, and your left hand sweeps in front of the right, crossing your hands, interlacing your fingers. Bring your hands to the crown of the head, bending your elbows. You aim here to send the elbows towards the back wall, not leaning forward. Now inhale. Reach the arms up straight. Now this is a lot for the shoulders, so feel free to bring the arms slightly forward of your head. Exhale as you bend. Inhale as you lift and lengthen. Exhaling. Inhaling. Turning across to the right side. Coming back to the center and rotating across to the left. Back to the center. Float your left hand to your right knee. Right hand floats behind the back. Inhale as you sit tall. Exhale. Keep your body aligned and tall, the ribcage floating a little higher away from the hips. The only movement we draw now is to bring your head forward and drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Beautiful openness through the side of the neck. Bring ourselves back to a level head. Arms lift up, so your right hand stays set to the mat and the left arm lifts up and over. We're lengthening out through the left side of our body and shortening the right, stretching deep through that left arm. Drawing ourselves back to the center, folding forward and down, crossing over your forearms, and allow your head to bow forward and down. Exhale, widen across the shoulder blades. We will be repeating the sequence we just travelled through on the opposite side, and that will involve swapping the sides of our legs also. So lift your chest up and away. Take a moment to swap over your legs. Right foot coming forward at the left. Level sit bones. Inhale, sweep the arms up high. This time we bring the right arm and cross it in front of the left, palms set together. Then interlace your fingers and bring your hands down to the crown of the head, elbows bending. Try to hug the elbows towards the wall behind you. Reaching up, lengthening. Again, remember that you can bring the arms slightly forward of the head. Exhale as we lower. Inhale as we lift. This is a beautiful practice for those of us that tend to sit a lot at desks, or maybe driving a lot, but really for everybody, because we do tend to hold tension through our shoulders and our neck. Holding, breathing, twisting to the left side. Twisting across to the right. Coming back to the center. Right arm floats to your left knee. Breathe into a tall spine. Lift the bottom out of the rib cage away from the hips. Sweep your gaze backwards. Now keep your body still and steady. And the only part of our body we move is bringing your gaze back forward and then dropping your right ear towards your right shoulder. Coming back to the center. Left hand to the side, right arm floats overhead. Forward and down again, crossing over the forearms, and allow your head to bow forward and down. Beautiful release. Coming back up to a tall spine. And we're going to cross over our ankles, and I want you to set your knees quite narrow towards each other. Your left foot set out to the side and your foot is flexed. Bring your left hand to the inside arch of your left foot. Right hand behind your back, sitting tall. Sweep your gaze to the back wall, the body sets. Again, apart from our neck, which we turn back forward. Drop the left ear, left shoulder just for a moment, and now sweep your gaze a little deeper towards the left side. The connection with the hand to the inside arch of our foot really helps anchor ourselves in this pose. Sweep your gaze back to the side. Crossing over our legs, narrowing the placement between our knees. The right foot is flexed, right hand inside arch of the right foot. Left hand is behind the lower back, And we sweep our gaze first to the wall behind us. Set your body. And then our only movement is our gaze coming forward. Right knee drops quickly towards the right ear. Then we lift our head and we turn our gaze a little deeper to the right side. Beautiful. Releasing. Floating ourselves now onto all fours. Knees under the hips. Palms under the shoulder line, tops of the feet down flat. I want you to widen your knees to the outside edges of your mat, big toes together. Thread your right arm underneath your left. Drop down to your right shoulder, the side of your head. Reach that left arm out long. Exhale, really opening through your shoulders. Guiding ourselves back to all fours. Thread your left arm underneath, or perhaps stay with your hips to your heels, as I did. We're stretching with the top part of our shoulder now. Shortly we're going to stretch through the inner side. That's when we'll be coming up to all fours. Getting ahead of myself sometimes. Floating now onto all fours. Set your knees directly underneath the hips, tops of the feet down flat. Pull the belly button into the spine, long neck. Lift the left arm up high. Now take that left hand, set your palm flat to the outside of your right hip. Open that left elbow backwards. Lift your gaze upwards high, and we can push down through the right palm. This is a beautiful, amazing stretch for the inside of our shoulder line. Reset your gaze forward and down. Left palm plants under the shoulder. Take a moment on all fours. Float your right arm up high. Loop that right arm, palm flat to the outside of the left hip or your lower back. Using that anchor point just to open a wide collarbone, open shoulder line. Bring your gaze back down forward, reset to all fours. Walk the hands a little further out to the top short edge of your mat. Sink the hips low to the heels. Forehead settles to the inside of the mat. And we hold and breathe. Spread wide from your thumb through to your little fingers. Exhaling. Really hoping that you're feeling a different sensation in your shoulders and your neck as we draw towards the end of our class. Crossing over your forearms. Even deeper release and ease and openness in the shoulder line. Keeping your forehead settled to the mat, perhaps tuck the chin a little closer to the knees. Send your arms beside your body, fingertips towards the back wall, palms facing up. Inhale, and as you exhale, allow the arms to feel like they're falling through the floor. Feel the shoulder blades widen, space between the shoulder blades, the arms feeling heavy and released. Freedom of tension and stress. With our next inhalation, begin to peel the chest away from the thighs, resetting. Palms flat to the tops of your thighs. Bring your chin back in towards your chest, stretching the back of the neck once again. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today. I really appreciate it. Namaste.